One of the companies that's attracting a lot of the attention in Silicon Roundabout right now is PeerIndex, and I have with me Azim Azhar, who's the CEO and founder of PeerIndex. Azim.
Hi, Mike.
So tell us a little bit about PeerIndex.
Thanks very much, Mike. So PeerIndex is a company which helps people understand the reputation and the social capital that they have online. It helps them improve it and ultimately help you benefit from it and leverage the online capital that you've built up.
So unfairly or fairly, however you want to put it, some people would call you a competitor with clout. How would you characterise that?
Well, I think our focus at PeerIndex is to look at an individual, look at the way in which they're building their reputation online across lots of different dimensions, including the authority or expertise they have in a given topical category, and to figure out how to give them consumer value constantly, time and again. How do we give you consumer value? And today we're giving people consumer value by really letting them understand the extent to which they could be a trusted source in a topic, and increasingly to help them understand how their peer group works and activates. And our focus is really that. It's start with value to the consumer, and then we can start to figure out how that translates to value for businesses.
Is the end game that people end up walking around with a PeerIndex rating on their laptops, or that they sort of they
or embedded in their
iPhone? or is the idea that it's much more sort of a business to business play?
We are already out there pushing our data out right across the world, and most of the time we don't have control of it. So there are companies who will be scouring the social networks and letting prospective employers know what they found. And that happens without your say-so and without your knowledge. And I think we're a very different type of company. The data is going to be out there. We would like you to have some measure of control and some measure of benefit from it. And to answer your question, will we carry around social scores? Yeah, absolutely we will. And I'd like you to carry around a PeerIndex score, and I'd like it to help you get better service, better treatment, more appropriate information across online and offline channels.
So sort of a virtual equivalent of saying, do you know who I am?
Yeah, well, the end of that, right? The end of that, the idea that it's not about being a prima donna, it's about the fact that, you know what, you care about cycling and I may care about cricket, and why isn't that reflected in the choices that we get? Or the simple question of, I've received a LinkedIn profile request from somebody, who is this person? Give me some more context beyond the thing that they've produced in LinkedIn about themselves.
So you're a few months old now at PeerIndex.
Yeah.
You've been going through the rigours of raising capital in Europe and in London. Give us a heads up, how's that been going?
Well, we've been lucky in the sense that we've raised $1.5 million in angel finance so far, and we are now moving into that stage where we'll want to raise more money this year. Getting a lot of good engagement. My take on Europe is that it's improved a lot over the last couple of years. There is still a limited number of funds. So we have quality funds with quality GPs, but we only have 10 or 12 of them. And an economy like the UK's or Europe's needs a lot more. So the thing that's missing is deep capital in the market. And of course, the reality is that there's a lot of deep capital in some other markets, and the question is how do you go off and access those?
But you've obviously been able to build a team here in London and externally with other people. What's it been like? What's that process been like? Has it been a real typical startup story?
Well, I think the team build has been very, very similar to many startups. So you start, you work with partners in order to resource. Now that we've got quite a bit of momentum, the service is growing very, very fast. There's a lot of interest in what we're doing. It's becoming much easier to find good people. And we've moved from a year ago having to sort of persuade people to a point now where CVs come in through the door and they're good quality people, which is great.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much, Azim, for talking to us on TechCrunch.
Thanks, Mike.